Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm Rabbi David Steinhardt, and I am here in place of Jonathan Lewis, who was supposed to speak in my stead. I was able to come at the last minute. I'm chairman of the Jewish Community Relations Council here in South Palm Beach County. We're especially pleased to be able to sponsor today's program. Our work, especially in matters relating to democratic pluralism and social justice, reflects our profound Jewish commitment to Tikkun Olam, to repair the world. The JCRC is extremely proud of its close collaboration with our state legislators, as well as AIPAC, ADL, and AJC, to spearhead legislation as well as local advocacy efforts on issues of Jewish communal concern, such as today's topic. This morning, we're fortunate to have with us a prestigious and renowned panel of speakers. Together, they are credited with encouraging the American investment community and all Americans to join what is referred to as the war for the free world by denying terror-sponsoring regimes such as Iran, Sudan, Syria, and North Korea access to the revenue that keeps them in power. There is little debate about the global security threat posed by a nuclear Iran or the urgent need to neutralize that threat. But where do we go with that consensus? A little over 1 year ago, the JCRC and the Jewish Federation developed a Stop Iran initiative as one of its highest priorities. We particularly want to thank and to recognize Bill Bernstein, the CEO and President, for his tremendous leadership and support to enable our JCRC to educate and mobilize our Jewish and larger community on the threat posed by a nuclear Iran. In addition to a full action agenda on this issue, we successfully worked with several organizations and elected officials to pass our nation's first state Iran divestment measure, the Protecting Florida's Investments Act. This landmark legislation was introduced by our community's very own and former JCRC member, Senator Ted Deutsch, and Representative Ed Asner. Bill Bernstein met privately with Governor Christ at the signing of the bill into law here in Boca Raton and had the opportunity to thank him, Governor Christ, for his compassionate and his courageous leadership. Since then, nearly a dozen states have approved similar legislation along with Palm Beach County and the cities of Palm Beach Gardens, West Palm Beach, Miami Beach, and Miami Gardens. Tomorrow, members of the Jewish Community Relations Council will be meeting with the mayor of Boca Raton, Susan Welchel, toward passing similar resolutions to divest city funds from companies doing business with Iran's energy sector. A meeting is also planned with the city of Delray Beach. I'm also pleased to report the investment portfolio of the Jewish Federation of South Palm Beach County has zero direct investment or ownership in any companies that do business with or in Iran. Before I turn the program over, I want to formally introduce and recognize Elise Dolga, our JCRC Director. In addition, we are pleased to welcome Carol Brick-Turin, JCRC Director of the Miami Federation. Who's Carol? And Louis Fleischman. Louis is the JCRC Director of the West Palm Beach Jewish Federation. We're pleased to collaborate with both of these communities on this issue and many other areas of shared concern. Please note that this program will be taped in its entirety and posted on our website. We strongly encourage you to share it with your friends and your colleagues. Again, welcome and thank you.
Good morning. I'm Hava Holzhauer, also on the JCRC Executive Committee, and it is my privilege today to introduce our speakers in the order that they will appear. If you want additional information to what I provide, there are full bios on the tables in front of you. And in the conclusion of the presentations, everybody will have an opportunity for questions. Our first speaker today will be Mr. Frank Gaffney. Mr. Gaffney is president and founder of the Center for Security Policy, which is a nonprofit organization that specializes in identifying policies, actions, and resource needs vital to American security. He has extensive experience in the fields of security, arms, and defense. Mr. Gaffney was Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Policy during the Reagan administration, following 4 years of service as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Nuclear Forces and Arms Control Policy. He was previously a professional staff member on the Senate Armed Services Committee under the chairmanship of the late Senator John Tower and a national security legislative aide to the late Senator Henry M. Jackson. Mr. Gaffney is also a prolific and nationally known columnist, writer, and speaker on his areas of expertise. Our second speaker this morning will be the Honorable Roger W. Robinson, Jr. Based on a wealth of experience, he has achieved acclaim as an international expert on the nexus between global finance and international security. He is currently President and CEO of Conflict Securities Advisory Group, which is an independent, impartial research provider specializing in the field of global security risk management and specializing in the implementation of terror-free investing strategies. This company, among other resources, maintains the world's most comprehensive database on every publicly traded company globally, with business ties to Iran, Sudan, Syria, and North Korea. Prior to his current position, the Honorable Roger W. Robinson, Jr. received training as an international banker, served as Vice President in the International Department of the Chase Manhattan Bank, during which time he was responsible for Chase's loan portfolios in the former Soviet Union, Eastern and Central Europe, as well as other countries. He also has done extensive government work. As Senior Director of International Economic Affairs at the National Security Council, as Chairman of the Congressional U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission, and as Executive Secretary of the Cabinet-level Senior Interdepartmental Group on International Economic Policy, also under President Reagan. Third, we get to hear from our very own State Senator Ted Deutsch. Senator Deutsch was elected to the Florida Senate just over 2 years ago in November of 1996. He's already served as Vice Chairman of both the Senate Finance and Tax Committee and the Senate Banking and Insurance Committee. With a long, strong history of active involvement in community and philanthropic organizations, Senator Deutsch has shown himself to be a champion of public education, elderly concerns, education of children, and providing for our local Holocaust survivors. He has already made headlines for his outstanding initiatives numerous times these past months, for, among other business, filing a milestone public health initiative, sponsoring and passing a resolution in support of Israel, and asking Governor Christ to examine the Port Canaveral deal with the largest gasoline importer to Iran. Relevant to today's topic, Senator Deutsch continues to lead on the issue of state divestment and will update us today on current legislation and the status of state, county, and city divestment initiatives in Florida. Last but never least, where is he? Andy Rosenkrantz? Andrew Rosenkrantz is the Anti-Defamation League's Regional Director for the state of Florida, deeply committed to fighting anti-Semitism and protecting the rights of all Americans. Mr. Rosenkrantz has a unique background as both a litigator and as a rabbi.